So today I wanted to discuss Lagrima, the left-hand technique of Lagrima by Francisco Tarrega, and finish up the lesson we had started about a week and a half ago. This piece has a lot of what I call tricks in the left hand, very subtle ideas that professional players use to make the sound cleaner, to make it more legato. And some of them are obvious and some of them are not. So hopefully you'll learn a few things from this lesson for the left hand at least. And here we go. From the top we have guide fingering on the fourth finger. So the fourth finger is going to stay down and just move, okay? And the other fingers can move as well, like the second finger for instance, in here. That's also going to guide. But one thing I'm doing is I'm trying to keep the sliding sound down. In other words, I'm trying to keep it from sounding like this. Okay? And those kinds of squeaks happen because the callus of the finger is usually hard for most people. And when you slide it against the wound string, you get a high squeak. Okay? Now, to avoid that, when you move your finger along the fourth string, what you can do is you can play a little bit more on the flat of the finger. See right here, I'm going to play on the flat of the finger, see? So instead of playing on the tip, which most people learn is the correct way, in this situation, I'm going to use the flat of the finger a little bit more because I want to get a slide without a lot of noise. Okay, so that's a little trick that most people don't know. Okay, and personally, I don't even remember where I learned it from. I learned it from somebody. But it's very handy for situations where you want to slide, but you don't want so much of a squeak, you know, on your wound strings. So that's something I use in the beginning here. Okay, now we go on to the next part, which is bar 5. Now look, bar 5, right before bar 5, we have an open string. And if you haven't heard this idea before, I'm going to tell you, when you have open strings before a shift, you can take advantage of the open string and let your hand shift. So in this case, watch. Okay, so the open string is played and my hand moves gently up to the next position. So you don't have to do this. There's a lot of people do this. Hold the chord. Then they try to grab it, you know, as quickly as possible. Not needed. You know, you can move gently with the open string. Okay, now this next part, it's a bar chord part, and a lot of people have difficulty with this part. First thing you got to understand is the knuckle has to be up. If your knuckle is down, you're not going to get the middle notes. Okay, so you have to have the knuckle up for this. So notice if your knuckle is up. The other thing that's happening is I'm arching my third finger here. It's not just like coming across flat. I'm actually arching it. And if you can see, I don't know if you can, but I'm actually trying to support the fourth string. I'm actually pushing the fourth string up ever so slightly just to keep it away from the third string. Okay, so I don't just kind of like put my third finger down and hope for the best. What I'm doing is I'm actually supporting the fourth string, pushing it up ever so slightly, and that keeps it away from the third string. Okay? And this one's a guide finger down, no problem. A small shift, I lift there. Small shift, lifting. Okay? And right here I go 3 to 3. Alright, and then 2 to 2, no problem. And again, we have an open string, so I can move, right? Same idea. Now, when we approach the second fret, I have two choices. I could either play it like this, and then move over, or I can decide to put the whole bar down at the beginning of that. That's the second beat of bar 7, okay? So on that second beat, I can put a bar down to the 5th string, which is what I prefer, so that there's no problem going to the next chord. don't do that, you have to jump. So it's like this. Right? But if you put it down, it's smooth. Okay? So that's the first half. In the second half, we have another guide, right? A second. Bar chord, notice again, the knuckle is up, not down. Right? Because if I have the knuckle down, the third string doesn't get played very well. So I'm keeping that knuckle supported. Then we have these thirds. And you'll notice I'm doing 2 and 1, open strings, 4 and 2, and then 1 and 0. And that's because when I play 4, I can get 1 ready, so it makes it smoother. Okay, you might also notice the fact that my fingers are over the frets that they're going to play. Okay, that's not like this. So I'm not doing any of that. I'm keeping my fingers ready to go. They're ready at attention. Okay, that's also known as preparation. We'll get into that in other lessons. Now we go on. We have open strings, so we can get ready. All right, and notice here, 4th finger, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 can get ready. Again, preparation. Open string we'll use for the shift. Okay, guitar's getting out of tune. All right, and now we have 1 and 4, 1 and 4, and 1 and 4. It's if you don't like the fingering, you can change that. I just do it. I think I just learned it as a kid, so I'm continuing doing that. But again, sliding on the 4th string, you play a little bit on the flat of the finger, so you don't get a squeak, not like this, but a little bit flatter on the 1st finger. Open string again, this is easy, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, very simple. Then we have open strings. As I play the open strings, I get ready, you see? So this shape starts to get ready over the open strings. Second finger gets ready. Okay. The last part at the end, just make sure you move over your second finger quietly. You know, don't lift it abruptly, lift it gently. So, a couple of things in the second half, really, I mean, the main thing in the second half is the preparation, okay, which you'll notice a lot of pieces you'll need to do preparation. All you have to do is look for, basically ask yourself, do you have an opportunity to get the next note ready in the air above the fret you're going to play? If so, it might be a good idea to try to do that so that you're not having to jump over and you know, get your hand down in a millisecond. You can gradually move over and even almost start to feel the string before you press. And I guarantee you, if you start doing that, you'll start becoming very accurate with the left hand. This is very typical among professional guitarists. This is really, if you watch them in slow motion, you can see they're constantly anticipating the next note that they're going to play. So that's the left hand for Lagrima. As you can see, there's quite a few little tricks and some very fundamental ideas about the left hand in this piece. So if you're playing it and having trouble with it in the left hand, experiment with some of these ideas and see if you can get them to work for you. I guarantee you, if you stay on it, they will come. Okay, so that's it for now, and we'll see you with more lessons in the future. Thanks a lot.